Joining me now is NBC News correspondent Shaq Brewster, who is outside that press conference at Minneapolis City Hall, and also NBC News legal analyst Danny Cevallos. Shaq, let's start with you. As we hear from these local officials, what should we take from this announcement that they are making? What exactly do they hope to accomplish here?
Yeah, I think this is the local government pushing back on what we've been seeing from the federal government, not just in the shooting of Renee Good, but also in this Operation Metro Surge, this increased immigration enforcement that folks here in the Twin City area have been dealing with for over a month at this point. You heard the Twin City mayors as well as the Attorney General suggest that this is an unlawful, unconstitutional operation. They're essentially saying that they are under occupation. They're being occupied by the federal government. And as we were watching that press conference, I went through and started to read through the lawsuit that was filed in federal court. And just to pull out a couple of the points that they were making, one, they're saying that the surge is having an impact on local resources. It's having an impact on the police department. The mayor said that they have been spending millions toward police overtime. Well, in the lawsuit, they quantify that and say that $52 million at least has been spent on police overtime, that there's it has required thousands of hours, 3,000 hours of overtime in just the 2 hours after Miss Good was killed. And they're saying that the federal government is sowing a lot of the unrest that you are seeing. And when we talk about the immigration enforcement, the DHS, the federal government, they're saying they're doing what they are supposed to be doing, that this is them enforcing immigration laws, and they're saying that they're not going to stop. We saw that as recently as earlier today, where we had our colleague Maggie Vespa was there, and she saw a flood of Border Patrol, some sort of immigration action taking place. They were reaching out to DHS to see exactly what was going on, but you saw members of the community come around, surround these officers. Tear gas was used, pepper balls, flashbangs. You're seeing these clashes over and over again. You're seeing these viral videos over and over again, and you have local leaders now saying, essentially, enough is enough. They're asking a court to step in on what they see as, again, unlawful and unconstitutional, Ryan.
All right, so let's get the legal perspective on this with Danny Cevallos. Danny, I want to read for you what the Attorney General said. He said, we're asking the courts to end the DHS unlawful behavior in our state, the intimidation, the threats, the violence. We ask the courts to end the tactics in our places of worship, our schools, our courts, our marketplaces, our hospitals, and even our funeral homes. Could a court do that? Could a court take this lawsuit and then tell ICE that they can no longer operate in a city like Minneapolis or a state like Minnesota?
A federal court could, and they filed in federal court, so it is theoretically possible, although the lead count is a violation of the 10th Amendment, essentially saying that the federal government is violating the powers that are reserved to the states. And they're correct that the police power, the power to legislate the area of health, safety, morals, and welfare, are traditionally left to the states. What I expect the federal government will respond with is saying that, yes, simply because there is a consequence or there's a collateral effect of our federal law enforcement or our federal actions doesn't necessarily create a 10th Amendment violation. In other words, the argument that the cities are making is that essentially the federal government's interfering with their power, the state power, to police their own people.
Shaq, do we expect that the situation in Minneapolis and in that general vicinity is just only going to get worse? You have already described what the tension is like there. If a surge in officers comes, could that make the situation even worse?
I think that is potentially the case, and I think that's the fear that you're hearing among local leaders here. You know, if I can add one other thing to the press conference and the action that we're seeing, this lawsuit, I think the reason why you're seeing this from local leaders, it kind of made me think back to what we saw in Chicago earlier in the fall, where you had, that was the one tool that local leaders had in stopping any action against, or that the federal government was taking. In Chicago, you had situations where federal judges were the ones who were able to improve conditions in some of the detention facilities that put restrictions on Border Patrol from using things like flashbangs and also those crowd control munitions. So I think you have Minnesota leaders doing what they can legally to hopefully stop, in their words, the unlawful action from the federal government.
Okay. Shaq and Danny, thank you for that. The breaking news that the Twin Cities in Minnesota suing the Department of Homeland Security and Border Patrol over the use of federal forces. We appreciate you being here.
We thank you for watching, and remember, stay updated on breaking news and top stories on the NBC News app or watch live on our YouTube channel.